Games are ranked by Play Score, a standard rating that averages gamer reviews and critic reviews. At 25th place is Mortal Kombat XL. The essential Mortal Kombat X is loaded with even more content with Mortal Kombat XL, putting all previous DLCs into one brutal edition. The glory of gory finishes is made even greater with the addition of Triborg and horror icons Jason Voorhees, Predator, and Leatherface. Hungry for grisly thrills? Fill your appetite or lose it as they face-to-face in a fight to the death with spine-cracking, organ-pulling, and chest-splitting fatalities in perfect X-ray vision. Is it maybe too late to say this game isn't for children? It has a play score of an 8.98. Garnering the 24th spot is Super Hot. It's not every day that you see a first-person shooter that shows a different layer of action. Super Hot is a shooter that moves when the player moves. Control a player as he gets transported into a digital world filled with red hooligans trying to kill you. Use the game's responsive time mechanic and carefully plan your strategies ahead while the world is still paused. Created by a team of passionate individuals, Super Hot manages to create a disruptive action game that critics have been calling it the most innovative FPS game to date. It has a play score of an 8.99. 23 is Titanfall 2. When it comes to this game, you can never rule out the intense guns, blazing action, and falling mechs from the sky. This sequel to Respawn Entertainment's critically acclaimed first-person shooter comes back with all new features and improved combat. From new mech types, new weapons, and a gripping story mode to cater to fans of the series, it is slick, frenetic, and it serves as a battlefield to the first-person shooter enthusiasts. Multiplayer is also improved with new modes to dominate with. Bigger is always better. It has a play score of a flat 9. At number 22 is Doom. id Software reinvigorates the demonic portal from hell into this latest entry of the hardcore Doom franchise. This reboot comes with familiar designs like the classics, but met with insane new upgrades. Be the iconic Doom guy and make them scream in terror as you tear them down limb by limb with your insane weapons. Also, when accompanied by the game's solid soundtrack, killing demons couldn't be more satisfying. It's one of the finest shooters of its year and it receives a play score of a 9.01. Coming in at number 21 is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. This game has always been a surprise to Tolkien fans. It's not related to the LOTR canon, but it still packs a punch in terms of gameplay and storytelling. Shadow of Mordor is one of Monolith Games' crowning glory. Control Talion, a ranger seeking revenge for his dead family. This quest for vengeance draws the power of the original creator of the ring, Celebrimbor. Team up in human or wraith form to take down orcs in the fallen land of Mordor. This game's nemesis system is the best feature of the game aside from its fast-paced combat. It tells a whole new story to each enemy that you face. This game has a play score of a 9.02 and we cannot wait for Shadow of War. 20th place is Madden NFL 16. There's more testosterone pumping action to be had with the definitive Madden NFL yet. Far from just another roster update, EA raised the bar with its elevated gameplay mechanics and new game modes that can make for a complete football experience. It improves on passing mechanics to give way to a variety of playstyles. Create hidden strategic plays with aggressive catches and run after catches, or take on a greater challenge in its new Draft Champions mode. It's plenty more realistic and it has a play score of a 9.08. At 19th place is Killer Instinct Season 3 Ultra Edition. A reboot of the 90s Killer Instinct arcade games, it sheds its pixel-fueled origins and makes a high-definition comeback. It borrows elements from fighting game icons like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat without forgetting to add in some of its own flair. Its third season channels its retro roots with costumes, accessories, and colors from its arcade era. And with the addition of 8 new fighters, you can wreck the arena with the Alpha Toad Rash or control the battlefield with Kim Woo's Dragon Nunchucks. There's no mercy in this arena with a play score of a 9.09. At Number 18 is Tomb Raider: The Definitive Edition. Lara Croft's return to the modern generation platforms comes with a bigger adventure. Crystal Dynamics' reboot to video games' most popular heroine is a huge success. Get lost in the mysterious island of Yamatai and witness Lara's growth in this action-packed origin story. What Lara Croft did during the previous games, Crystal Dynamics improved. Escape from this unnerving island with your crew of brave adventurers. Use Lara's survival skills and discover a magic hidden deep beneath this forsaken isle. This has a play score of a 9.14. At 17th place is Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. Larian Studios brings an original game to the RPG mix with Original Sin. While it may seem lacking in visuals, it gladly makes up for it with subtle complexities and engaging turn-based combats. Unlike most RPGs, you'll be given a lot of freedom. And with freedom comes the burden of thinking about your actions and how it affects the world that you dwell in. Experiment with various elements and delve into moral choices. This enhanced edition adds more to the mix with new game modes, voiceovers, and a cool dual-wielding option. It has a play score of a 9.15. At 16th place is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Witness the return of Capcom's Bio franchise with a whole new first-person perspective. Step inside Dolby, Louisiana and find your missing wife. Meet the lovely Bakers, a wonderful family determined to watch your rotting flesh on the news. For a long time, Resident Evil has finally returned to its roots, bringing a whole new level of scares and tension to the players while not reliant on the excessive jump scares. Welcome yourself to the family because this game has a play score of a 9.15. 15th place is Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. Developers of Blizzard North were able to breathe life back into the Diablo series with this refined version. It retains much of the same elements that made the franchise a huge success. The Ultimate Evil Edition culminates years of improvements into one ultimate game, especially with the inclusion of the Reaper of Souls expansion. It's Diablo at its finest with its graphical and mechanical overhaul. Enjoy 1080p resolutions and 60 FPS as you slash through demonic beasts in deep and fiery dungeons. You can almost forgive the faults of the base game with a play score of a 9.17. At 14th place is Rocket League. Where else can you find monster cars hitting monster-sized balls into gigantic goals? Nowhere but Rocket League, of course. A sequel to Psyonix's 2008 Battle Cars, it creates the unlikely combination of rocket-fueled cars and the joy of soccer. Rev up your customized engines and soar through the field with up to 8 of your friends. It's no 90-minute marathon. It's a quick, frenzied battle for supremacy, complete with dazzling visuals that complete the superstar package. With its own esports league, it's a highly competitive cross-platform field with a play score of a 9.17. Lucky number 13 goes to Dishonored 2. Be embroiled in a harrowing story of political intrigue in Arcane Studios' sequel to probably the best first-person stealth action game yet. Control two of the series' iconic characters, Corvo and Emily, as they exact vengeance on the people that usurp their throne. Use the game's improved stealth system and pick between these two playable characters at any time. Take down enemies in multiple ways, but you don't have to murder them. Bask in its morally gray choices and just decide to see the lesser evil in its grim world. It has a play score of a 9.2. 12th place is Minecraft Xbox One Edition. Yeah, it's not for everyone, but hey, come on. You can't deny the wealth of amazing projects and artworks that was brought into fruition thanks to this Swedish creation. Mojang's Minecraft ushered in a new wave of almost jaw-dropping creativity and a new era of YouTube gaming to boot. There's a million possibilities in store for you, depending on what you like. Explore the planet-sized landscape, survive the bewildering wilderness, or create intricate pieces of art and science. There's always something to do here, and it has a play score of a 9.22. Number 11 is Dirt Rally. Get ready for the most authentic rally game ever. Dirt Rally puts you on the driver's seat of powerful cars as you white-knuckle your way through its unforgiving terrain. Forge through deadly ravines on snow-capped hills and brace yourself for steep dives through the countryside. It's a rally enthusiast stream with smooth resolutions and lush graphics. You can almost feel the wind and mud blowing through your hair. And with its challenging courses, it has responsive controls to help you steer through the madness. No casuals allowed. It has a play score of a 9.23. We're down to the 10th place with Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Kojima. His final entry of this massively popular Metal Gear series has met with universal acclaim. Although the story can be subject for further discussions, Phantom Pain is a remarkable send-off to Big Boss's career. Engage in an immersive third-person stealth action experience with its fluid gameplay and heart-pumping action. Explore the barren Afghan region or hide in the cover of the darkness in African bogs. Experiment with strategies using its emergent gameplay and smart enemy AI. It's a Metal Gear to surpass all Metal Gears, and it has a play score of a 9.23. At number 9 is The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. Talking about how amazing The Witcher 3 is nothing but an understatement to the gaming community. CD Projekt Red's masterpiece takes you to the final story of the White Wolf as he tries to find the missing child of prophecy while evading the clutches of the Wild Hunt. Be a professional monster hunter or a witcher as you scour the depths of the war-torn villages, enter creepy underground tombs, and bang hot sorceresses. This game takes medieval fantasy to its 100% form. It's considered by many as the best RPG game of the decade, while others would like to call it a savior of the RPG genre. Your call. It has a play score of a 9.26. 8th on our list is Ori and the Blind Forest. Microsoft's dazzling adventure platformer is full of surprises. Take control of Ori, an adorable tree spirit tasked to save their magical forest from growing darkness. It's a roller coaster of emotions as the players feel the weight of responsibility of its main character. First few seconds, it's gonna make you cry. The gameplay is by far the most fluid compared to most platformers. It's fast, slick, and it's carefully designed for greater challenges. Use Ori's magical abilities to leap, roll, and smash barricades and take down enemies. Fulfill his quest to save the decaying forest and try not to cry. It has a play score of a 9.27. And we're giving you 7th place with Dark Souls 3. From Software's third and final entry to their hair-pulling, stress-inducing, and rage-quitting series comes back with even more hair-pulling, stress-inducing, and rage-quitting moments. But just like all of the Souls series, the test of patience is satisfactory. Aside from its beautiful graphical overhaul and detailed monster designs, the biggest improvement of this installment is the fast-paced combat. No longer is it wonky and slow compared to the previous games. With the removal of the poise system, fighting against ugly beasts are more reliant on your dodge rather than your blocking. With massive DLCs to add more lore to the story, it's a game worth having with a play score of a 9.3. At 6th place is Overwatch. From the ashes of their failed MMO FPS titan, Blizzard manages to pivot into something so grand it turned into what we now know today. Blizzard's latest IP in almost 2 decades revolutionizes the first-person shooter genre. It is a spectacular blend of fun shooter and strategic team play. Engage in fun 6v6 battles with you and your friends in iconic places from around the world, all in futuristic form. Escort payloads, capture points, or fight to the death while choosing between the game's lovable 24 cast of characters. Just last year, it has been awarded by multiple Game of the Year awards, making it 2016's Game of the Year. The world could use more heroes and more healing. It has a play score of a 9.3. We're down to number 5 with Forza Motorsport 6. The Forza series is a masterclass in video game racing, delivering class and elegance in every installment. But this game especially takes the cake, giving hope back to the doubters after the slightly underwhelming wake of Forza 5. The franchise cements itself back in the Racing Hall of Fame with new tracks, shinier cars, and a 70-hour story mode. Rain and night racing are wonderful additions, by the way, that coupled with stunning visuals make for challenging yet beautiful drives. It has a play score of a 9.33. 4th place is NBA 2K17. Beat the Kings in 2K Sports' latest NBA release. There's much in store for you this season with upgraded mechanics to give you more control of the fast-paced court. Evade steals and blocks with killer crossovers, and shoot over NBA's greatest players with improved shooting mechanisms. Live your dreams and become one of the legends in its variety of game modes. Take yourself to the court and match up with the superstars in My Career, or step away from the sweaty mess and become a basketball adversario in My GM. Either way, you're in for some darn good fun. It has a play score of a 9.35. We're bringing in good fun with Fallout 4 for our third place. Wander around a radioactive Commonwealth in Fallout's nuclear fourth entry. What begins as a search for your lost son becomes a harrowing adventure that will take you through its massive open world and improve VATS support shootouts with deadly mutants. As much as the radiation eats through genetic codes, Fallout 4 is sure to eat through hours of your life. In a good way. You will spend many a time alternating between rummaging through scrap, crafting weapons, and building bases, all in the spirit of survival. Despite its myriad criticisms, it's still undoubtedly a great game, radioactive warts and all. It has a play score of a 9.37. Taking our second place on this list is Inside. Playdad's monochromatic touch and haunting atmosphere returns in another side-scrolling adventure. This time, step into an Orwellian-inspired dystopia where you control a young boy running away from the clutches of government control. This indie game has established the respect of various players and critics from around the world, making it one of the most successful indie games during 2016. It even won multiple awards including Best Indie Game, Best Art Direction, and Best Audio. Just wait till you see that ending. It has a play score of a 9.47. And the number one Xbox game so far is Grand Theft Auto 5. Of course. Despite being released way back in 2013, Rockstar's fifth main entry to the Grand Theft Auto series remains an all-time favorite among fans of the franchise, as well as video game first-timers. And why the hell not? There's a million things to love about GTA 5. Aside from the obvious freedom from societal inhibitions and doing whatever the hell you want, it's also a surprisingly polished game that offers so much in terms of gameplay, story, and visuals. It's a world on its own where the mundane and exciting collide into one explosive harmonic crescendo. It's everything you want in an open world game, and that's why it gets an outstanding play score of a 9.59. And a big thank you to these awesome contributors from all over the world who helped us translate our videos to their respective languages. If you want to take part in the growth of our What to Play community, please translate your favorite What to Play videos to your language. Simply click that More button below and select Add Translations. Thanks again! We publish 4 gaming videos every week, so don't miss any of them. Click that bell button beside subscribe, check the send me box, and save. Don't forget to like and share this video to your friends. To receive the latest player and gaming updates, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Google+.